and welcome to AutoTrader Carology Bitesize, our video series where we connect with experts in the Canadian automotive to deliver the latest news and trends shaping the automotive landscape. I'm Baris Akyurek, B2B Marketing Manager at AutoTrader, and today I'm once again joined by Baris Akyurek, our Vice President of Insights and Intelligence. Baris is here to detail the key findings from our latest AutoTrader Price Index report. We'll take a closer look at how used and new vehicle prices have been trending so far this year and explore the market dynamics shaping both segments. Thank you very much for joining me today, Baris.
Thanks, Maisa. It's always fun to be here.
Let's start. Can you give us a run through the main three takeaways from the Q2 AutoTrader Price Index report?
How do I summarize it shortly? There has been a lot of developments, obviously, in the last while, thanks to the results of the elections in the US. As we all know, tariffs have been implemented in April, and that changed the course of the automotive market. So three things you asked for. So one, I think we talked about this in the last Carology program as well. We've started to see the uptick in demand in around March. February was a bit vague. The weather was pretty cold, and these tariff conversations weren't 100% serious. Are they going to go through? Are they not? So there was a lot of question marks. So February was a bit down. Starting in March, the demand has been pretty hot, both for new and used cars. So that's number one. Number two, if you've been following this program in the last couple of years, we always talk about the inventory. Inventory was a hot topic since the beginning of COVID because of all the microchip shortages and supply chain disruptions, and things were normalizing and everything was going well. New car production was coming back to normal. Used cars, there were availability was there, but since the middle of last year, we've started to see a bit of an impact on the used car inventory. Yeah. So if you remember, right, we estimate that between 2020 and 2023, 1.5 million fewer cars, new cars were sold. So these cars are not coming back to the used market. So obviously we've started to see the impact of this in around last year. Usually it takes around 4 years for cars to come back from leases. So the used car availability was, I don't want to call it struggling, but it was constrained. But now with the tariffs, with the demand higher than expected, obviously it's eating up into the existing inventory. So the inventory situation is a bit constrained, especially for used. That said, we've started to see a bit of a decline in new car inventory as well. But it's on the new side, things are a bit more nuanced. At the make model level, certain models are not making their way to Canada. So it's a bit complicated, but overall, when we look at the aggregate numbers, they've come down a bit. So that's number two. And maybe a combination of these supply and demand dynamics, what happens when there's a lot of demand and not a lot of availability, prices started to go up. So that's what we've been seeing since March. Prices have been going up on a month-over-month basis, which is unexpected because I've talked about this multiple times in this program. Usually what happens with used car prices is that they start on the higher side and they come down throughout the year. But again, since around March, that trend has reversed.
So referring to the first point that you made initially, that there's an increase in demand in used cars, right? So tell me about the types of vehicles that are selling.
Yeah, so we did actually looked at this in detail because we wanted to see what's going on with the EVs. We wanted to know what's going on with the luxury market, mainstream market. We wanted to understand it in detail. And what we are seeing is that the demand is everywhere. Luxury is selling really well. We actually saw a double-digit year-over-year increase for used luxury vehicles. There is an increase in mainstream brands, more affordable brands on a year-over-year basis. And also even the EVs, used EVs, saw a little bit of an uptick. So the uptick in demand seems to be applying to all segments at this moment.
Okay. Okay, let's go to another important topic, EVs. So,
EVs, all right.
yeah. So you've been talking about the decline of in EV sales, right? Um, so help us understand that a bit more. Can you like elaborate on it? What's going on in the EV market?
Yeah. So as I said, right, when you look at the used EV market, it's chugging along.
Yeah.
It's doing all right because of this uptick in demand. Everything is selling, and also like when we look at used EV prices, they're actually down on a year-over-year basis by around 8%. So obviously, when the prices are lower, there's a bit more demand, and because people want to buy cars, they accelerated their purchases. EVs are also selling on the used side. But when it comes to the new EVs, the situation is completely different. Uh, I've been talking about this, I don't know for how long. As you know, we do this annual EV research and we look at a bunch of different things, and the responses that we get from consumers, they don't change much.
Yeah.
They want they're anxious about range anxiety, infrastructure, and also higher prices are the three barriers for. We've been running it for 4 years. It's always the top three, and we don't seem to be doing anything to solve these issues for consumers. So, and not only that, but we also remove the federal incentive program, right? Federal incentives from,
Yes.
unfortunately, unfortunately, I guess, in January. So when we looked at it, even before this change had happened, as you know, we look at the market, global markets, to understand how things are moving. And Germany did the same thing. I believe I mentioned this briefly in the last program as well, but Germany did this at the end of 2023. They removed their national incentive program, and the following year, the EV sales tanked by around 30%, something like that. So we've been talking about this. Don't do this. It's gonna come down. It's gonna come down. We have these mandates. We won't be able to hit these mandates, but unfortunately, they still went ahead. And guess what's happening with EV sales? They're down in double digits on a year-over-year basis in April and May. So, not a big surprise, to be honest with you. And I don't think that's going to change. I know that there's chatter around bringing incentives back, but at to what extent, how much, by when, we don't know. It's a bit vague right now. Maybe it's going to be part of the trade negotiations. I don't know. But the news are not coming in just yet. So I think what I'm trying to tell you is that if there's no substantial changes in the EV program, IZEP program, probably it's going to be a difficult year for new EVs. But that said, when you look at the EVs as a whole, including plug-in hybrids and hybrid vehicles, those two, they're doing all right.
Yeah.
Best of the both worlds.
Yeah.
I'm experienced because my wife wants an EV, but this is my personal opinion, not my company's, not AutoTraders, but I feel like hybrid options are better because I don't want to worry about charging and all that stuff. So I kind of like.
You mean the plug-in hybrids, right?
Plug-in hybrids
Yeah,
and
yeah.
regular
Yes,
hybrids.
yes.
So I kind of like I use the research results to defend my thoughts at home as well. But jokes aside, if there are no major changes in the market, probably it's going to be a difficult year for new EVs. So what's going to happen with the mandates? There's penalties attached to it. So it's complicated, and I think we are making it too difficult, but it is what it is. We are here.
Okay, so what's your take on the prices for the rest of the year?
$1 million question. Again, I don't want to speculate. I don't want to throw a number out there just for the sake of it, Maisa.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of uncertainty and a lot of question marks, as we all know. But assuming that the demand stays as it is, we don't see any major changes, meaning that, price. So maybe first of all, one of the questions that I keep getting is that, are we going to see $25,000 used cars like back in pre-COVID days. That's not happening. If the demand slows down in the second half, again, we don't expect to see that for the used vehicle market at this moment. Probably prices are going to hover around where they are right now. On the new side, the situation is a bit more complicated because of the impact of tariffs, right? So probably again, so maybe I can just give a little bit more context. But in the beginning, so far, new car prices haven't been impacted because there has been availability. But as I just mentioned, it's been coming down. So assuming that there's no big changes in these tariffs, or there's still uncertainty, if there's still challenges in the inventory availability, probably we might see some impact uptick in new car prices in the second half. By how much, I don't know. It'll depend on the make, model, depend on the OEM. But probably there's going to be a bit of an uptick in the second half. By how much, we'll find out.
All right. Thank you again,
Of course.
Baris, for your valuable insights. We look forward to welcoming you back soon for more updates on vehicle prices and trends across Canada.
Yeah.
And thank you to everyone for tuning into the latest AutoTrader Carology Bitesize episode. To get your copy of the latest AutoTrader price index and to stay up to date with in-depth insights on automotive trends and car shopper behavior, please follow AutoTrader.ca on LinkedIn or visit our newsroom at go.trader.ca/newsroom. We look forward to having you join us at the next AutoTrader Carology Bitesize.